Oh, nah.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to this episode of the Trainer Feed. We got everybody back, and we are your hosts. My name is Angel Sanchez. We have David Bravo.
What's up, guys? Eating blueberries.
You guys should see how he eats blueberries as well. That's another thing.
And we got Jacques Delagere.
What's going on, everybody? We are buzzing this afternoon.
Yeah, we're doing good. I had too much coffee. David's eating these blueberries. And
Shout out to the Cleveland Guardians, bro.
Oh, man. Yo, that mascot, we were just talking about it off air, but that mascot is going to be ridiculous. It's going to be like Mr. Met. You know Mr. Met?
He's going to be the hamburger helper helmet, fucking like glove.
That's
pretty much it.
It's a pretty, guys. We were just discussing how this morning the Cleveland former was it just Indians or Red Indians? I think it was Indians, right? Cleveland Indians.
Cleveland Indians,
Damn,
yeah.
Dude, the logos are
the
red.
Cleveland Red Indians.
Jesus.
No, the guy is the logo color is red.
Jesus Christ, John.
Notice how they kept the red and the G though.
Hey.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
I mean, I guess
Yeah,
it's
stay
less
woke.
money to rebrand the colors too, you know.
But that's why we were talking about the Washington football team. They had when it initially came out that they were dropping the Redskins name, they had I think maybe a 2 or 3 year period of just being called the Washington football team. I think because then when it comes to rebranding and everything, you can't just do it in one go. I think so. But interesting that the Guardians came out and did it. The Guardians, I can't.
Guardians. Oh, I was listening to a couple of episodes and I was like, damn, if I could get Jacques to say like a phrase that focuses on his accent, it'll just be crazy. But I couldn't make anything make sense because it has to do with like if there's like an A at the end of the word, for example, say California.
California.
Oh, no, you're trying mad hard. I see.
No, California. I would say California.
Sometimes you would say California.
Yeah, California. And like California. Alexa was like Alexa. But now you're thinking about it. We gotta catch them off guard. But guys, that's the secret. That's a secret sauce. If you can come up with a phrase like what is it?
Oh, sorry, the coin.
Seashells by the seashore.
Oh, she sells seashells by the seashore. Yeah, after the second time I screwed up.
But Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers.
I've never heard that one before.
You never heard that?
No, you never heard of that?
No. What's that again?
Peter Piper
picked a pack.
Oh no, I have. I definitely thought it was a different one. I was like, that's a different variation. That must be like the version of the Bronx or something. I don't know. I don't know that one before.
The Bronx.
Wow.
Yeah, also, why is it called the Bronx and not Bronx?
Nah. Because it's the Bronx, bro.
But I'm saying, why is it not the Manhattan?
There was something about that. I think it had to do. It was like some French shit, actually. It was like named after a French person or whatever. You have to look into it. Well,
I have to look into it. I do remember a client telling me why. I just figured you guys may know, but he said something about it being more family centered, based with an area.
The Bronx is named after Jonas Bronk, who settled in the area in 1639.
And he was wild. Dutch?
I think he was Dutch, yeah.
That's Dutch. Why Harlem, Brooklyn, and
Manhattan used to be Mannahatta after the Mannahatta Indians.
But at one point it was New Manhattan before. No, it was New Amsterdam before New York, wasn't it?
I don't know.
I thought you were going to counter me and say.
Actually, I don't know.
I actually don't.
Actually,
in school. They should probably, but whatever. All right, we got some topics. Y'all ready for these topics?
Yes, we do. Let's
drop these bombs.
Drop them out.
So we're gonna go over best and worst parts of being a trainer.
Shit.
That's gonna be how we start. Then funniest gym moments. I have a couple in my head just in case like y'all can't think of any. And then if you had a mentorship, if you had a mentorship or internship opportunity with a famous coach or whoever in fitness person, guru, who would it be and why? But let's start with the best and worst parts of being a trainer. So I know a lot of different trainers have a couple of different highlights and a couple of different things that grind their gears. But I think for the most part, for me, I'll start and then you guys can kind of like chime in. I think that the vacations is a little bit tricky because I would love to be able to have like 2 weeks off and just still get paid to do what I do. But just have that time to just like de-stress and be out and do whatever I got to do. I have some people who work, some teachers that are friends that they get those 2 or 3 months off. I know like teachers get the short end of the stick the majority of the time. So I'm not saying like it shouldn't be 3, it should be 2, or it shouldn't be 2, it should be 1. I'm not saying that, but it does seem pretty sweet. And sometimes like my partner, she has vacation weeks. It's like she'll just get paid and she doesn't have to answer an email. She doesn't have to like look anything up. She doesn't have to like text or call. She's just gone. And that is a little bit challenging at times. But the best part is like you do what you love and it hardly feels like work, at least for me. Right. So just not having to wear, there's so many benefits, like not having to wear a suit or a tie, you know, being able to just exercise. I could drop down into a deep squat and nobody would bat an eye in the middle of the session, you know, just because my hips, if I need to stretch my hips, I can stretch my hips. A lot of people are just like miserable doing stuff.
One time I did
hate.
that and I heard in the back of my head someone say, damn. I was like, oh, shit.
Oh, man. And that, yeah, but you know,
Damn.
sometimes you get compliments. Sometimes they're not wanted. So I don't even know where to go with that one. But yeah, it's just you can wear whatever you love, what you love. You do what you love. I think that's probably the best part for me. Just enjoying that. What about you guys?
You go, Jack.
All right, I'd say
age before beauty.
I'd say similar to what you're saying about the comfort level with the best parts of being a trainer. I really like. I was discussing this about the client earlier today about how jeans don't fit me, and I love wearing sweatpants or shorts all year. As soon as it's April, I'm wearing shorts all year round. So I do love the fact that I can go into, especially when we do one-on-one private training, I wear whatever I want, right? It doesn't have to be all black. It can be purple. It can be teal, whatever it is, shorts or top, whatever. And I love the fact that for the most part, it is your schedule. You know, if you don't want to work on a Saturday morning, which I've in the last 5 years been very fortunate to be able to not have to work on weekends for the most part. And I like being able to do that at my own time and you know, and sort of thing. And if we have to go away, there's a double-edged sword. If I have to go away, I'll just make sure I don't work that day sort of thing and just say, hey, I'm not coming in or I can't do that day, whatever. And then there's other benefits of it. I think scheduling in terms of, oh, this is a job where you can go work out 11 a.m. and then, you know, throw in a quick workout between clients because you're in that gym environment. When it comes to some of the negatives, I think that it can be difficult for getting away. I do know what you mean. I definitely feel it as though I agree with you with the not being paid when you're away. You only get paid to work. You only pay when you work. So that's a little frustrating. But I also have to admit that not having that contract where not that we don't answer to anyone, but we almost don't at times. I somewhat, because being in a managerial position prior to in my training career, where I really had to answer. It's not that I have a problem with authority, but being at that age or being at that mindset where you don't need to answer to everyone for everything and having control of your own career, your own business, it was quite liberating in a sense. And I'll touch into the other thing as well. I think that can be a little difficult with our career is sometimes having an off switch is hard, where if someone's trying to reschedule a session or someone's trying to, it's down to us to really, you know, I've been better about this in the past. I know you guys have been pretty good about it. And Angel spoke about it recently about, you know, whether it's 8, 9 p.m., the do not disturb is on your phone and you're not seeing any more text calls. I was better before COVID. I'm still getting better, but about 9 p.m., I don't respond to an email or call. Like I just don't. And if you're emailing and texting me, and clients who listen to this will know and they'll laugh. But if you email me or text me after 9, 10 p.m. and I'm getting up at 4:45 the next day, you'll get a text at 5 a.m. And I'm not trying to wake you up, but that's somewhat when I start my working day for the most part. So I'd say that's possibly one of the harder things about being a trainer is it's sometimes hard to find your off switch because there's more components and just it's not quite the same of going into an office, leaving an office, and various things.
So, I think the best thing about it is having your own work schedule. and having to be running around, not in the sense of running around client to client, but being able to walk around and be active and not having to sit down for hours a day. And getting quick workouts in because you work right at the gym. The gym is right there. In between clients, you could do a couple of swings, a couple of squats, whatever it is, and then get it done. But I think the thing that gets me the most is I always feel that as trainers, or maybe it's just me, as trainers, you end up working for the summer because in the summer, that's when a lot of your business takes a hit because people leave, and I mean, who are we to tell people not to go anywhere? And it's kind of like somebody's going away for a while and then they'll be like, oh, I'll see you in a couple of months. And I'm like, great. I'm happy for them to go and, enjoy themselves and, relax because their whole year has been shitty. But it's kind of like, damn, okay, now I'm going to have to, eat into the savings or, cut back on things, hustle hard again. But then when the people come back, you're like, oh shit, now I don't have anywhere to put you in because I've picked up new people. So it gets to the point where you have to like it feels like you're working for the summer always and the instability of it. So I think that's the only pet peeve I have about it. Because I think of everything else that a lot of people might say would be like, oh, talking to people, selling, all those things are just like part of the job in the beginning. And then afterwards you find your own little balance. Because in the beginning, it was hard for me to say no. Like, everybody's like, yes, yes, yes. Now it's like, David, can you do? Nope. Cool. See ya. We're like, no.
Yeah.
No, like, regret or anything.
I feel you on that.
So, yeah.
I feel you on that.
And you meet a lot of people. You meet a lot of great people.
Different walks of life, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, too. Sometimes I wish that I had, I don't want to say courage, but like the foresight to know that I should talk to these people, about whatever it is, right? Like you meet some really, you meet authors, you meet, writers, people.
I tend to say too much to my clients.
Yeah, David is.
I'm a very open person. It's like I don't know. It's just like, especially if I've seen someone for years, and they're like, so what's up? So what's going on? And usually we like go into detail. But I think that's something
How do you manage a portfolio?
Yeah. No, I asked a client, I was like, so how much you make? They're like, oh, no. But, no, I don't know. It's just my personality with the clients. I tend to be very personable.
I'd rather not know how much money they make.
No, I'd rather know.
You'd rather know?
I think the notion of asking somebody how much they make shouldn't be such a big deal. If you're working hard and
that's fine.
The whole thing, and I mean, then this goes down the rabbit hole into like, I forgot the word of it, meritocracy, right? It's like, like, okay, yeah, you've earned all that you've done, all the money you've done, which is great, and then, yeah, of course, some people have earned everything you've done and they're successful, and I think being afraid of asking somebody how they've gone about it, it's kind of like, it just is what it is.
That's why they'll probably be telling you that, and then next week they're talking about, yeah, we just can't find good workers. You'd be like, hire me, I'll do the
exactly.
job.
Like can't find good workers.
I'm free.
Like McDonald's owners, like, yo, I'll pay you to get interviewed.
Oh man, they'll also pay you to get a vaccine at McDonald's.
They're paying you to get vaccines. They're paying you to get in. Yeah, they're paying you $50. Certain McDonald's and Burger King, they're like paying you $50 just to come in to get interviewed.
So
throw it in your Whopper.
What's interesting is when in April, May time, so in April, May time, though I went to games in back-to-back months, but I probably mentioned it before, where the first game was about 1,000 people and the second game was 6,000 people. A very noticeable difference in both, in many reasons. But me and my buddy were talking about, we said, hey, they're giving out vaccine, they're giving out free tickets if you go get vaccinated. I'm thinking, hell, I'll go get vaccinated again to get some free tickets. I'll get another vaccine to go for a free ticket to the Super Bowl next year.
Don't let them put the chip in you, bro. Stop.
You got 2 chips.
You get chips out of nowhere, bro.
You know what?
You see those people like putting fucking magnets and shit on their face and like getting stuck, and then they don't realize it's fucking sweat.
Well, the other thing I was going to say was I joked to someone about this in the week as well, and I know that I don't know if you watched The Social Dilemma, David. I know Angel, you did.
I
Yeah,
watched
like
the Social
watching-
Dilemma.
I
don't know
like
about the
watching
one you had.
documentaries and getting anxious and not being able to sleep for a couple of days. That's what I do in my free time.
So did you said David you watched it?
I watched the Social Dilemma. I
Yeah,
haven't
so
heard of
we've all
Social Dilemma.
All right. So we've all watched we've all watched it. And someone was joking to me, I think it was a client saying, "Oh yeah, all these people are saying about the chip going in you or the data tracking," and I said, "Well, you're also on Instagram and Google and Facebook. That's essentially what you're doing is just feeding into their data
You've at
tracking."
one point in your
anyway.
life agreed to a contract without reading it. At some point in your life to download whatever app, to be on Google Earth. Like the whole thing
you're
about being
essentially-
tracked is like, come on.
You're essentially doing it, and by publicly talking about it on a social media platform is essentially what you're doing. So I think it's quite rich. I think it's funny, but I don't know where I was going with this.
Damn, you the king of the rabbit hole.
I am rabbit hole legendary.
Speaking of rabbit holes,
hole legendary.
Speaking of rabbit holes,
I watched Space Jam 2.
Oh, is it good?
Garbage.
It looks trash.
It was so bad. You know, this is the thing. The first Space Jam with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was not an actor, but he was so much better than LeBron. If you enjoy the Looney Tunes and them being loony, then yeah, definitely watch it because there are a lot of moments where you're like, this is great because of the Looney Tunes. But I think the storyline is just like all over the place. I don't know.
It's also a different look probably too, right? Like they speak to that in a couple of different movies and documentaries where athletes look different as the generations go on. Like they just look more, I don't know, like difficult to, like they look more challenging, right? Like they're taller, they're bigger, you know, he got the beard, like it just looks a lot different than Michael Jordan, who was like clean cut, clean shaven, and probably a little bit leaner,
Shiny
like
head.
dancing around with, you know, cartoons. That might also have a thing to, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it really matters like what you look like versus the cartoon, but I can assume it might be. I haven't seen it, but
I mean, I will say
no
if you have
spoilers for people who
no
are
spoilers. But if you
lining
do have,
up to watch Space Jam 2.
no, if you do have 2 hours to kill,
Nothing
then
bad to do.
maybe
than do
watch it. You know.
But did you guys ever see The Last Dance?
Yeah, that was good.
Did you see
Yeah.
Angel?
Yeah.
So just because I'm thinking of Space Jam, he what he did during that summer he filmed, he flew down all like his friends, and after a full day of shooting, would just play basketball all night, like every day. Do you guys remember that, Michael
Yeah.
Jordan? That was insane. But he'd have anyone and everyone.
And I
Fly to
took
LA.
that personally.
Yeah.
I love those memes.
That meme, and I can't even remember where in the show that is, but I'm like,
It was towards the end. I forgot what it was that happened.
oh, it was
And
the
he was like-
coach, the coach in the restaurant that wouldn't say hello to him.
I guess so. And he was like, and I took that personally. And he drops 40 the next night. It's fucking insane.
I was gonna say Black Widow was also pretty trash.
I heard
Really?
it wasn't great. Yeah,
so
I haven't
that
seen
was,
that one yet.
That was pretty trash.
Cruella DeVille was worth watching though.
Is it? I want to watch Cruella because I love Emma Stone.
We liked it. We thought it was
love
good.
Emma
I think
And
if
also,
you
yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
no, if you like dogs, there's a good affinity there. But we were pleasantly surprised.
I mean, one of
Oh,
the first movies that I have any recollection of when I was a baby or a little kid was 101 Dalmatians.
What's the storyline? Because I've watched that movie
is
and I
no
can't remember. What
storyline.
is it?
So this Cruella is its own storyline now because in the beginning, in the first 101 Dalmatians, there was never any backstory for Cruella DeVille.
But I'm saying the 101 Dalmatians. What's the plot? Well, because I remember some dogs get stolen or something. And I can't
That's
remember
what it is. It's basically- so what these set of dogs had 100 Dalmatians, had 100 puppies. And then there was this one Cruella DeVille who was obsessed with, I wouldn't say she was obsessed with the puppies. I think she was obsessed with the black or the white with
Or the
black
coat.
spots.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
wanted to skin
She
them.
wanted I don't know if she wanted to skin them, but I knew she just wanted them because of their coat. Like she just wanted to have them, and everything for her was like black and white, you know. And then she hires thugs to come in and try to steal them. So
It's pretty
That's
wild.
what it is. I couldn't remember the storyline. I said I don't know.
it was great. I love the 101 Dalmatians, which is why I really want to watch Cruella
I think you'll like it.
and Emma Stone. If you're listening to this,
Yeah.
hi.
Funniest
Hopefully
gym
she
moment.
is.
Yeah, hopefully she is. Funniest gym moments. Do you guys have any funny gym moments? I remember a couple of things.
I got one including you as well.
Oh, okay. No, that's good because I have a couple. Well, I was thinking like, should it be like gym floor moments or just like in the gym? Because we use the gym not only for like the training, but we use it to like do all sorts of shit. But there are a couple.
I don't remember very many.
I remember the one. Did I talk about this one before? With David and the bathroom and the toilet?
Go on. I don't know if I do.
David, you know which one I'm talking about?
The one where they had no toilet paper?
Yeah.
Did that happen to me recently?
Oh,
That happened to me a couple weeks. So real quick, I went to go like take a dump. Sorry, I went to go do my business, and of course, like everyone nowadays, you have your phone there, and I'm like fucking checking emails and shit, and then on Instagram, and then I'm like, okay, I gotta go, and then there's no toilet paper. I'm like, fuck. So I was like, okay, I could do either two things. I could yell out for someone to come and get me toilet paper, or I could, since I know the stalls next to me are empty, I just do a quick one and like just dip in the other one. So that's what I did. I like
it's your best bet.
Ran to the side and I was good. Oh my god, it was.
I've done that before. There's no shame in that.
I don't care.
Nah, so that's our time was similar to that because the stalls were all booked up except there was one that was open. So I go into the stall and like a normal person, actually probably not a normal person, but somebody who's not distracted on their phone, I checked first to see if there was toilet paper and there was no toilet paper. So I was like, oh, okay, I gotta grab toilet paper, but I really did have to go. And so I left and then I see David and David passes by me in the bathroom and he's like, and I'm like, what? And then he goes straight into that store. I'm like, nah, bro. And he's like, bye. And then he locks the door. And I said, all right, this motherfucker, like, he's going to learn. So, David probably didn't check. And this was like 2-3 years ago, probably like 3 years ago now. And he didn't check then. I guess he didn't check recently either. And he was just like, I said, are you missing something? Like I texted him.
That was so weird because I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I said, you missing something? And then he was like, what? And then I said TP. And then he checked, he said, oh no. Like he texted me back, oh no. And then he's just saying like,
I was like, oh nah.
He's like, give me some toilet paper, bro. And I said, nah, you cut me off. And he was like, it hurts. Help. I think I told him to scream out help or something like that. Something silly. But obviously he didn't, and I just gave it to him. But I just remember that time, and that time was mad funny. I started dying laughing. I was like, all right, I got something for you because you just ran in there. You like, bye. I said, okay.
Bro, all right. I thought you were done and I had to go, man.
Too good for your own good, David.
Wait. Yeah. Said, bye. All right. What about you, Jacques?
Actually, one related to the bathroom and another one with you, Angel. The first one, the bathroom, was the instance where you know who's next to you just by them answering their phone. And it was Greg. And all I heard was, yeah. And I'm like, oh, it's Greg. He's like, nah. And just from the few words he spoke, that's myself, that's Greg. And I just thought it was funny. And then the other thing was one morning, I don't know if you were in this day, David, but Angel is wearing his lifting shoes and with a 6 a.m. session.
Oh yeah.
I think to myself,
I think we said this before.
Nah, I definitely don't think we have.
No?
Who was wearing their shoes?
So Angel's wearing his lifting shoes.
I remember.
And I'm thinking to myself,
I saw this. I saw
why would anyone wear their lifting shoes when they're with a client? You don't really wear it when you're doing deadlifts or a squat. Maybe somebody
about to go in.
So then this
bright white,
and then the bright white ones, right? So they stick out like a sore thumb. And then this guy tells me the story about how he had poop on his shoe. I think this gets better. Well, whenever anyone who knows West 76th Street Equinox is a formal area where we meet most of our clients. And this guy, Angel, would always sit up, legs straight, whilst he's on his tablet, and the client was foam rolling. And can you tell us how close the shoe with the poop and the client's head foam rolling was?
Nah, it was mad close. It was OD close. Like if bacteria could fly like an inch or 6 inches, from 6 inches, then you definitely got some doo-doo somewhere.
So how'd you know that you had to change your shoes?
Because I think I started smelling something, and I was like, what the hell is that smell? And then I checked, and then I was like, damn. And I said, I got to change my shoes. I'll be right back. I gotta do something. I don't even say, because I think that client in specific, you know how some people just don't even.
Your early morning client, the lady.
No. I don't think it was that one. I think it was another one. Although it has happened multiple times, I will say that I think it happened twice while I was there at 76th Street. A lot of things happen with shoes, like it's either rainy and they get soaked or whatever, but it might have happened twice. But this time, this client was just not aware, and he was just doing the rolling, and I was like, oh man. And then I had to change them real quick, and the only other shoes that I had were the lifting shoes. And I was like, I'm not gonna go out there in socks and then be the functional guy. Crazy.
This guy doing some functional training. Yo, I'm in my
But
socks.
the client didn't notice. The client didn't even notice that I changed shoes.
That's because it was 6 a.m. If it was later in the day, they'd have been awake and they would have noticed, right?
That's probably true.
The only other thing I was going to say was some of the faces we see at members in the club. And there's like a couple of people that do. And to the point where a client recently said, do you remember that guy at 76?
Oh, yeah.
And he did the whole face. He was going.
Yeah, we should probably not do that, because now you're shouting out the location and the face. Now people are going to be like,
I haven't seen this guy in a while.
You haven't seen him?
I haven't seen him, though. Another one that I was going to say is at a gym, unspecified location. There was this one time where I only saw this dude once, and I was training a client. It was like 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. on a weekend, I believe. No, it was probably earlier, like 7, 8 on a weekend. Anyway, it was very light day. There wasn't that many people there. And this guy just went in and just went to like the dumbbell rack and just started bench pressing, like, 40 pounds or 50 pounds. And he started screaming, after each rep. And I was like, all right, maybe my man's getting it in, whatever. That can't last for too long. And he just kept doing it. And then he eventually like finished his set, like threw the weights and took his shirt off and just said, and did like a Hulk Hogan, like flexing move in front of the main mirror that's by the dumbbell rack. And me and my client just stopped and looked. I was like, cocaine's a hell of a drug. And I think that went over his head.
Was that where I worked?
Yes, at this unspecified location. But it was just mad funny because I was like, what? And then somebody, I don't know who was there. I think it was another trainer. And they said, oh, all right, you getting it in. And he's like, yeah. And then he was like, look at this guy. I was like, what's going on? Because you typically don't see that. But somebody just like throwing the weights, all right, fine. You kind of see that sometimes. But then to like take your shirt off and just like start screaming and flexing at yourself, at your reflection, you're fighting demons.
And I remember 2 moments. And I think my sense of humor is kind of fucked up. And I tend to laugh at the misfortunes of others.
Sure.
And right? Do you remember when our old coworker was choking on a piece of something?
Maybe this was a bad topic to bring up.
No, this is hilarious. Keep going, David.
I don't know who.
Coworkers has a thick accent, right?
Okay.
And he was a bodybuilder. He was choking on I don't know what. And we were all in the lounge just chilling, and then he's like going crazy, and he's asking somebody like, "Hey, heat me back." He's like,
oh, that was pretty funny.
And no one knew what he was talking about, and they're like, "The fuck?" So he's like, "Heat me back."
I wasn't there for that one, but I heard about it the whole day.
No one knew what he wanted, and he's like this.
Oh man, damn!
And somebody was like, "You mean hit my back?" That was one, and then another one. Oh my god! Wait, there was a moment when. Fuck. What was it? I lost my train of thought.
Can I jump into one more?
Yeah,
go ahead.
So this is an angel again. Actually, I will also say that anytime that it's 6 a.m. and David's like, "You're," or just the whole damn day, or like if you had someone say, "Hey, come film me," David be in the background, be nice, bro. Do something stupid. But quickly, of Angel, there was a video I found really old from the locker room, from the training room.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy was like, "Hey," and he was like, "I'm tired of your shit." You always go, "Hey, how's it going?" And you probably say this to everyone. "Hey, how's it going? Hey, how's your day?" And you're probably like, "Yeah, you're probably tired of your shit." Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that one. That wasn't one of my best.
I've never seen you that they respond like that. It was
so
so
very
funny.
uncharacteristic of me.
It's
like-
you didn't have it.
I didn't have the patience anymore. I was just like,
Yeah.
you know what? You want to know how I really feel? I'm gonna tell you how I really feel.
Yeah.
But that was wild. But
Well,
yeah, not
then-
one of my best moments.
And then a friend of ours or someone we know would just call someone out and say, "Stop doing stupid shit," or "Are you actually gonna lift some weights? Like, you're never gonna get strong doing that. Do this or something," which is kind
I
of
know.
savage.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
It's
was
like
hilarious.
different, so many different personalities, so many different
Yeah.
mindsets, and so many different ways of thinking, all crammed up into one. And
Yeah.
you know, some people would find value in rolling their foot for 30 minutes and then lifting for 10. Some people find value in lifting for 30 minutes and, you know, not showering. Some people value like showering and steam room and stretching, right? Like it's just so many different things that people like and people focus on.
Nah.
So you put that all in a room and somebody's gonna get got.
The day I heard somebody tell their client, when their client was like, my lower back, I feel like it's just burning. And the guy's like, yeah, that's what we want. Yeah. Like,
I know. It's unfortunate.
oh, there was a time a guy was rowing on the ergometer on the Concept 2.
Oh yeah.
The rowing machine, for people who don't know what that is.
On the rowing machine. And he was going a little hard. And I think he was like going like this and then finishing up here. And the thing broke and it snapped.
Get out of here.
And he just goes flying into the back wall.
Holy.
He was fine. I think Marcella was there. She was like, "You all right? You okay?" And he's like,
good?
"Yeah, I'm good." He's
Yeah,
like,
get up. Come on.
Nah, that time I think it was with me and Jacques where we were on the rower and we were doing something, and then like the rower was a little bit rocky. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna tell that story.
I
Mix that
actually,
story.
but it makes me think if you're Dave, you're talking about the same person. There was a dude that would go on the rower, and he
He's like
did
some big
something
dude.
where he moved it, and the rower moved like 10 feet.
Yeah.
It was no longer in that corner, and it was in the.
That
in the
tends to happen. If
passageway.
you go too hard, it moves the whole thing.
Yeah, because you're like, because it's only like 2 legs and the legs aren't that stable. People
No,
think
it's quite
it is,
light.
but
It's
not.
really
No,
light.
what happens
Yeah.
is you so when you row, you want to push with your feet, right? In the first initial push the feet. And he did it, I guess, so hard that he pushed the whole thing like forward a little bit as he was like doing it.
Yeah, because it's
Just
locked into your
halfway-
feet, and if you push with your feet and then you lift up off that seat a little bit, it's like you're just pushing the rower, like you're leg pressing it, and it has little to no resistance.
He was halfway down the block, for God's sake.
Yeah, it was
He
pretty wild.
was.
That was pretty wild. Or the people who set up those plyo boxes like as high as the windows are, and then they try to jump, and then eventually they fall.
I just want to slap the shit out of those people.
It's like, why are you gonna? First of all, you're taking up too much floor space.
Yeah, for one.
You know. Second of
It's
all,
all ego. That box jump is all ego.
yeah.
No,
It's
but
like-
there's a moment. I'm not gonna say any names. But there's a moment where somebody was giving a. I don't think you guys are there. I think this is when you guys dipped. And this is all hearsay. I wasn't present.
Oh no! That's Bochinche. You can't be.
I didn't
saying
film
Bochinche
this.
I
on
love
air.
Bochinche, you know. So there's one trainer who liked to wear really tight pants to like work out, and he wasn't like people didn't really. He wasn't the most like the sharpest tool in the shed, right? So then one of our friends was teaching a course. He was teaching like one of the educational segments for like I think the newer people. And he like, who wants to do this? And he's like, the guy's like, I do. And the guy stands up, just takes his shorts off, and just like floated in. And everybody's like, the fuck are you doing?
Oh,
And then this other person is like, wow. Okay, here we go. But yeah,
But I like, you know, one of the things that I like is I've worn some crazy stuff before, and
I have to.
fortunately, I have friends that will stop me, coworkers that'll stop me and be like, "You gonna go out in that?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Why you look like a blue Power Ranger though?"
Because you're wearing head to
No.
toe in blue.
Yeah, so you're head
then
to
you
toe in blue.
then you probably have the headset that's blue as well.
Yeah, and I was like, all right, I'll calm down. And they took
No, but
pictures, and I was like,
If you
oh,
want to
snap.
wear it, you wear it, man. I don't care.
Well, I think that was a good move. I think, it was good for them to course correct on my front. I think in that opportunity. And I don't mind that. I like that feedback because sometimes I think a little bit too highly of my choices and I'm fucking up clearly. So
when we go out to eat, sometimes if it's somewhere, we don't go out anywhere that fancy, but we've been out to a couple places recently. I'll just say, what do you want me to wear? Because I'm not. If I pick something, she's gonna want me to change anyway. And then if she just chooses something for me, then that way there's no disagreement. But we went to the Low Boathouse in Central Park. You guys ever seen it? That's pretty cool. We did that for the first time, but I called them. I said, "Can you wear shorts?" Because I don't want to go somewhere this is when it was a lot of monsoon weather as well in the city, and that was if I'm in Charles, I'm gonna die. I don't know what it is of me just wanting to wear shorts, but that's why I wear shorts as soon as it's April. I love the fact we can wear shorts to work. I feel so bad when I see those workers in head to toe in suits, ties, and I'm just thinking,
if it's casual, then you're fine,
Or even construction, man. Construction is hard, and you got to wear the long sleeve. You got to wear the jeans.
The jeans, yeah. Why do you have to wear jeans for? What's the deal with that?
Safety.
Yeah, safety.
They're thicker than like a regular pair.
Yeah, and if something if something falls on you, it's less likely to just rip or tear,
sever your fucking leg.
Even though they're dealing with some stuff that can easily just chop people in half. But it's one more thing, right? Even the helmet, right? The helmet's not going to save you if you just fall off the building, but it helps you if there's debris falling, and generally there might be some small particles that fall down, and it helps you. That, the goggles, the gloves, all that stuff. I feel bad for those people, man.
I didn't feel bad for the people next door to us. We moved to the apartment unit before, but for 2 years, 7 a.m. they start construction every day.
Yeah, I think there's a rule about that in the city. They can start super early versus in some places they have to wait until 9 a.m. or something like that.
Something to do with if it's within a building that's already built with tenants in it or occupied. Whereas if you're in a building that's not occupied with tenants or anything, I think you have more flexibility on times and stuff. So
that's true. They even have new tenants sign leases and sign agreements about sound that they might hear because of renovations. Yeah, some people have to sign that stuff away, and they're like, all right, I'll deal with it for the next year. And then next thing you know, they bring the jackhammer. When you see that jackhammer come through the elevator, you know it's a problem.
Over.
So the last part I wanted to talk about before David sends us off on another segment, before we finish up, mentorship, internship opportunities. So I was thinking about a couple of people who've inspired me throughout the years, and some coaches that if I could either have the opportunity to work with them, do an internship with them, who would it be and why? And there's a couple of names that came to my mind, but I wanted to kind of see what you guys thought first, and then I'll say my piece later because I've been leading the conversation. So who do you guys? I'd say David wants to go Dan John all the way. Is that true, David? Let's be honest. Dan
Hell
John.
yeah.
You want to live with?
It's either Dan John or Mark Rippetoe, but I'm leaning more towards Dan John because Mark Rippetoe is kind of a psycho. So yeah.
Enough said.
No, Dan John's cool. He's very minimalistic. He's just do these, do that. These are the basics. You'll get strong as fuck and get it done. And he's also very studious. He's very well read and stuff like that. So
you respect that.
Yeah.
What about you, Angel?
I'm gonna say Jacques. Jacques would like to go with I'm gonna guess.
Wait. Primal Soldier.
Nah, I'm good. I'm done with him. Nah.
Oh, word?
Marcus
Philly.
He's not
Marcus Philly is a name that comes to mind. I like a lot of what Marcus Philly does.
That was the second.
There's a guy trying to get him on, actually. This guy, Thosh. I think I mentioned to you guys. Just a lot to do. Thosh. I think that's how you pronounce it. Thosh. And he... I follow him through him also being with the 10,000 family, and just seeing his workouts at home. It's just, some of it is very intense, but it's just, I'm actually really considering for the first time in a long time having my own coach, because I think I could really benefit from it now more than ever. But just watching his stuff, and I love the creativity, and it's all about probably similar to what you were talking about with just the concept statement of Dan John about just being strong. It's not about lifting the heaviest weight for a male and how many plates can you do. It's about being strong, feeling strong, being strong in everyday life. And he replicates a lot of those patterns. He does a lot of asymmetrical loading, which is a big thing of mine right now. I also think, based on who would be a really ideal internship or mentorship, is to I'd love the idea of doing an intern with a professional sports team, and more specifically, if it were tennis or if it were ice hockey. I just think those guys, when I see some of their workouts, I think those are very interesting. But something that's quite eye opening, the U.S. Open happens every summer, right? When everyone comes to New York, and one year the funny thing was I met Andy Murray, my biggest the tennis player I used to follow the most and really appreciate. And the same day that I met him, I bumped into his very formerly the departed fitness coach, trainer. Just bumped into him just outside of Times Square. And because he's a regular looking dude, you'd only know him if you already knew who it was. And when I spoke to him, I picked his brain for about 10 minutes. I said, like, what do you do? How do you design it? Where'd you come up with it, this stuff? And he said, and this is pretty much quoting what he said, he suggested getting a basic Olympic lifting certificate. Certification.
So all of this is going on in Times Square.
So he was probably, if you have Times Square, that's what, between 46th, 42nd, whatever. He was probably on 38th, 37th.
That just shows you that y'all not New Yorkers, bro.
Hear me out. I was with my friend who was visiting from the UK who loves Times Square. Shout out Richard. Shout him out like every other episode.
Oh, what's up, Dick?
What's up, Dickie? Dickie. So I think we were walking from Union Square or whatever. Anyway, so long story short, as I bumped into him picking his brain. But the thing I was trying to get at is, he said, I should make it up. There's no, oh, you have a tennis player, you must. I'm sure there's amongst coaches, there's, hey, it's a tennis player. They don't need to spend hours and hours and hours working on that back squat and getting like a one rep max, right? I'm sure you'll work on that squats. So that's essentially what he said was, just, I made it up. I did patterns that would help him replicate things on the court. So when I heard that, it just really helped me open. And I think I'd only been at Equinox for 2 or 3 months and training for about 4, 5, 6 maybe. So it really opened my mind to just the fact that you don't have to be too rigid. I spoke to him about the Vipers, and he said, just a gimmick, just a toy in the gym. You know, he wasn't knocking it, but he said it's not the holy grail of fitness. He was just saying that there's so many tools, there's not only one to go with. So it was quite opening. So I think if I got the opportunity to work with someone of a team, I think that would be a really cool experience. Because those are people that movement is their life, in terms of that's their moneymaker, you know. And I think it's quite interesting when you hear a player in some sports, if they were quite small and quite frail. Like there's a picture of Giannis. I'm not going to try and pronounce his second name, of when I think he would first join the Bucks and what his size is now. And granted, I don't know how old he was when he got drafted. I should know this, but
wasn't it a few years ago? Not that long ago.
It was like 19, 20.
So yeah, so 19, and there's a picture of how, I won't say frail, but less built he was, and now how well built he is. And if you can play a part in, yes, he all around, I'm not even going to try and describe his attributes because I'm not into basketball, but you can tell that time spent in the weight room, time working on certain movements has helped him progress and develop. And if you can play a role in that, that's something that I think can be quite satisfying. But that's me wrapped up. Let's hear what you have to say, Angel. We're quite intrigued with this.
No, that's cool. I think for me, I would like to do like a mentorship internship with Mike Boyle. I think that he does a lot of stuff with conditioning, metabolic conditioning, as well as like with some sports teams. And I think just picking his brain, like having that opportunity that you had just to like pick his brain about, what changes when you're training somebody for, this sport or that sport, in regards to like fitness, and like how do you maximize a client's potential, right? Given that they're going to play a sport, because sometimes, at least in my head, I don't know how it's all planned out, and I can understand it from I don't know how to say it. Like, I can understand it from like a physiological level or exercise level. Like, I can understand like movement patterns, you're focusing on this and the third, but from the logistics standpoint, it seems like there's a lot of communication between like, athletic coaches and athletic directors and all that stuff. And then you also have, you're the personal trainer, or you're the, strength and conditioning coach. So how do those pieces all come together? I remember when I did my CSCS, they spoke a lot about like the layout of that stuff, and it seemed really intricate at times, and then I'm sure like very general at other times. But I would love to pick his brain about that, because that also just helps you understand like this is what people are paying millions of dollars for, right? And then after you understand that, like I feel like that's the financial apex. Yeah, I guess like those clients are the ones that might be like the financial apex for us as coaches, and it helps you normalize everything else that you do, right? It helps you legitimize the stuff that you do, because I also feel like as you continue to grow as a fitness professional, you start to realize that the people who you work with bring value to you in experience at times, right? So somebody comes to you and they have a shoulder issue, and you've never worked with somebody with a shoulder injury, and now you work with them and then they don't have the shoulder injury, and you're like, okay, now I know a little bit about what works for one person. And then you have 2 people, and then 3 people, and then you got a hip and ankle, et cetera, et cetera. I feel the same value would come from just training somebody who's playing for a sport or preparing for a sport. And if it's at the professional level, that would be unbelievable, because that's like the apex. And if it's not, then that's cool too. Like even at the minor level, you can still get a lot of experience through that. And I feel like for me professionally, I think that would be a really good way for me to grow, and then also just get those experiences under my belt and just feel more comfortable about the stuff that I'm already doing. Because if I know that it works for, Aaron Judge or Giancarlo Stanton, then I know that it'll work for Tom or Richard.
The story he talks about as well, Mike Boyle, about how he used to bartend across the street from Fenway Park, and
Right.
then some years later, he's with I think he said he's with the Red Sox, winning a championship, isn't he?
I think so. We met him for that Perform Better Summit that we speak about that David didn't attend. But we got to crack a beer open with him,
take a picture,
take a picture and just talk, about, how he came to be the man that he is.
Must be nice, right, David?
Wow, must be amazing.
No, I'm gonna look it up. We're gonna
all 3 of us are gonna do a tour.
I have a virtual conference coming up too, for NSCA. So I just gotta get these CEUs.
Get it over and done with.
Yeah, I just need it. Every year I need to just keep cranking, because I think they audit it or the potential to audit it like every 4 years or something like that. Mm-hmm. Or maybe it's 2 years actually. It's a little tighter. But I do need CEUs, and if Perform Better is back up and running in 2022, we should definitely
let's do it. I'm David. No excuses. We're gonna book it all together.
None of this. I'm gonna wait until the week before to get the cheaper flight.
Yeah, we're not doing that. We're gonna go to the Vagabond Inn. We're gonna get
Vagabond Inn
with that pool that looks like things are just floating in it.
And, they get so much promotion from us talking about it.
Probably get so much business from us. But we should definitely do that. I think we should. I think that I don't know if you guys. This is just off the hop, but we could maybe even the fact that we're with so many fitness professionals, and even if it's not some of the hosts, get some of those guys to either come on the show when we're there. That might be a little bit much, but even just like having conversations with them to eventually have them on. That's definitely good meeting points. I know we met a few fitness professionals that were out there, and it was actually what was quite funny was some of the fitness professionals I didn't know were going, or I didn't know of them. I already followed them on social media. So they were there, and I was, oh, you're at this function too? and then met them like the next day or whatever it was. So that was kind of funny. It's quite a small world, especially in the world of fitness.
Yeah, Jacques is very popular. So, David, you got to get ready because when we go to these Perform Better summits, people know him. People start talking to him. They're like hugging and like, hey, what's up? What's going on, man? And I'm just like, sitting there eating my pancakes.
Yeah, me too.
When you were asleep on the floor.
I'm very low key, so I'm just gonna be like,
just sitting there eating my pancakes in the back, like, wow, there's a lot of fitness people here.
Like, yeah, what am I doing here?
Yeah,
no,
but,
it's good. It's a good time though, and it's great to just see. I mean, it's just so interesting, right? They do exercises, and you pair up with someone. You're in a group, and next thing you know, you're rubbing shoulders with someone that lives on the other side of the country, or like when you do. Sometimes, David, you have the lecture material, a lot of what they do was they spend an hour talking about their material, their theories and this and that. Then they do a practical element of it the hour after. So you get to follow. But I think what we did was we didn't really figure that out until the end of the first day. So we would go to some theory, some practical, and it's not that it wouldn't make sense, but it was more seamless if we went to both, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
So
we just try to go to see the people that we thought would be the best and had the most interesting topics. Like if there were people like, Brett Contreras, we went to his thing. But then if there was Mike Boyle, went to his thing. Like a couple of names, we look for the names first, then we look for the whatchamacallit, the topic. Yeah. And then obviously they're all at different times. So we were just like running from room to room. But at least we stood there for, each thing. We weren't just like cutting in and out all the time, which a lot of people do because they give you the CEUs up front.
Yeah, if you pay for it, they give CEUs. You don't have to go.
Wow.
Yeah, but we'll all do it at some point.
Trainer fee goes west. Let's go. Let's effing go. West Coast tour. Yes, boys. Because David, you still haven't been to the West Coast, right? Or have you? There you go.
I've only been to Denver.
Did you go to Chicago?
That's in a month.
Oh, I thought you went to Chicago, and then people were telling me you were in Montauk. So I was in Montauk. All right, David. We in Montauk,
how was Montauk,
Chicago?
by the way?
It was fun. I got to find $5 to $10 million and buy a house there.
Sounds good, man.
I wonder where you were going with that.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It was fun. It was very nice. It was a really nice time.
A big group of people, right?
Yeah. It was cool.
Jacques was salty. He didn't get the invite.
I was not salty.
He was mad salty.
Oh, word? Hey, man, I'm not the one that invited.
No, I'm not salty. I just thought it was everyone that was at 76th Street.
Nah, it was mad funny because I wasn't on Instagram, so I didn't really see, the stories or whatever. I'm sure you had stories because David's always posting stories.
I posted a couple.
And so Jacques said, "Oh, people are in Montauk, something. Must be nice." And so then
it was nice.
I looked, and then some people posted. I forgot who posted, and it was like a group picture. And I was like, "Oh shit, David's there!" And then he said something about, "Oh, we didn't get the invite." I was like, "Oh no, it's fine." But I didn't realize that it was like directly, connected. Like David went, but we didn't get the invite. And I was like, "Oh, okay, now I know."
Nah, it's good. It was all 76th Street pretty much, right? I swear I noticed.
No, it's good. It was a cool time.
I haven't been to the island in so long, like out to the Hamptons so long. But
anyway, we'll wrap it up. We'll call it here, and then we'll regroup next time.
Sounds good. That's a good one, guys. Dying today. That was so funny. We should have Andrew drink that amount of coffee more often. We should put a poll in the stories, and if you guys 100% yes, then it's good to go.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely. We'll do a poll. They still do Instagram polls?
Yeah.
I mean, I certainly do. I just try to make them as provocative as possible to get some interactions, because sometimes, this is no word of a lie, you'll get 3 interactions or 4 interactions, and 3 of them are bots.
Yep.
I'm like, this doesn't count for anything.
You could always count on David to be a hater on those Instagram polls for sure.
When you put
it's not called being a hater. It's called keeping modest.
Are you working out today? Are you working out this morning?
Nah.
Exactly. Anything in red.
No, but the thing is, I hate because Jacques doesn't give me the option. So like he just puts
yes,
like,
hell yes, or later.
Because people like you, David, are negative as hell. And when I put how is this on a scale to 1 to 100 or something, you put 1. And you know how hard it is to go to 1? It's hard. It's easy to go to 100 or in the middle. You have to really want to go to just 1.
Yep.
Yeah, you have to really.
And then
wanna do it.
I go to the previous story, and then I go back so I could vote again, but it won't let me do it.
Oh my god!
All right.
All
Catch
right.
you in the next one, guys.
All
Later.
right.
Guys, have a good one.